Okay, we're now live. Thank you.
Okay, good evening and welcome to this informal cabinet on the 13th of January 2022. This is a virtual meeting and hence the reason it's being streamed. This is, as I said, being live streamed. It will be recorded and the recording subsequently made available via the council's website. In addition, under the local authorities executive arrangements, meetings and access to information England regulations 2012, other people may film, record, tweet or blog from this meeting. The use of any such images or recordings is not under the council's control. Please note that members of the public viewing the meeting via the live stream can only see the person who is speaking, and also that it takes a second or so for Zoom to switch between views. So please pause before speaking when you get asked to say something, and also ensure that your microphone is muted when you're not speaking. So I'm going to confirm who's currently in the meeting and part of the meeting. So if you could verbally confirm that you are present and you can see and hear the proceedings. Can I start with Councillor Barclay?
Good evening, Leader. Yes, I can see and hear proceedings.
Thank you very much. Councillor Bailey.
Good evening, Leader. Yes, I can see and hear the proceedings.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Councillor Boker.
I can see and hear proceedings, Leader.
Thank you very much. Councillor Harper-Davies.
Good evening, Leader. I can see and hear proceedings. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Councillor Mercer.
Can hear and see things, Leader.
You can see things. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Councillor Poland.
Yeah, I can both see and hear as well.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Councillor Ratway.
Yes, I can confirm I can see and hear the proceedings.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Councillor Rollings.
Thank you, Leader. I can both see and hear proceedings.
Thank you very much. And then finally, Councillor Smidovic.
Yes, Leader. Thank you. I can both see and hear the proceedings.
Excellent. Thank you very much to everyone. We also have a number of officers here joining us. So if I can likewise ask whether you can confirm that you can see and hear the proceedings. We start with Rob Mitchell, our Chief Executive.
Yes, thank you, Leader. I can see and hear proceedings.
Thank you. Simon Jackson, our Strategic Director, Environmental and Corporate Services and Section 151 Officer, and Officer with the longest title. Simon.
Thank you, Leader. I can see and hear proceedings.
Thank you very much. Karen Widdowson, who's streaming this evening, who's our Democratic Services Manager and Deputy Monitoring Officer. Good evening, Karen.
Good evening. Yes, I can see and hear proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We also have Justin Henry, who's our Strategic Director, Commercial Development, Assets and Leisure.
Thank you, Leader. I can both hear and see.
Thank you very much, Justin. I don't think Sylvia has been able to join us quite yet. So when Sylvia does, then we will welcome her. Otherwise, we have Verity Graham, our Neighbourhoods and Partnerships Manager. Good evening, Verity.
Good evening. I can see and hear. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We also have Kevin Stanley, our Leisure Contract and Business Manager. Good evening, Kevin.
Good evening, Leader. I can see and hear proceedings.
Thank you very much. And then finally, we have Laura Strong, who's our Democratic Services Officer, keeping us in place. Good evening, Laura.
Hello, Leader. I can see and hear proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Laura. Okay, and then finally, most important person in the room, of course, our Chair of Scrutiny Commission, Councillor Seaton. Good evening, Councillor.
Well, thank you for that introduction, Leader. I can both see and hear proceedings.
Thank you very much, Councillor. So that's everyone who's part of the meeting. So we are going to move through the items now. Item 1, apologies. We have no apologies. Item 2, disclosures of pecuniary and personal interests. We have got the first item, which is due to strategic grants. There are a number of councillors who are nominated to various bodies. So I think if you could please raise your hand if you need to declare an interest. Councillor Poland.
Thank you, Leader. I'm the Charnwood appointee to Equality Action. So I'm going to step out, well, virtually step out for the first item, not take part.
Okay, thank you very much. Councillor Boker, I saw your hand go up.
Yes, Leader, I'm a voting trustee at the John Storer House and therefore I will be stepping out.
Okay, thank you very much. Councillor Barclay.
Thank you, Leader. I've got a personal interest in item 6, where the grant to Syston District Volunteer Centre. I have no input into it at all, but it is within my ward. That's only, so I just as a matter of caution, really.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any other declarations that anyone needs to make? Okay, right. So in that case, we move on to item 3, which is leaders' announcements. There are no announcements this evening. Item 4, which is the minutes of the previous meeting. They were the minutes of the meeting held on the 9th of December. They will actually be submitted to the next formal meeting of Cabinet to confirm, rather than this informal Cabinet meeting itself. Item 5, questions under Cabinet Procedure 10.7. No questions were submitted. So we're now on to item 6, which Charnwood grants. This is Strategic Partners 2023, 2020 to 2024, so covering a 2-year period. There is a Scrutiny Commission report for this item, so I'm going to start off by asking Councillor Seaton whether you could present the Scrutiny Commission's report, and then we'll move on to ask any questions of clarity to you before discussing the report itself. So over to you, Councillor Seaton.
Leader,
Very much.
Sorry to interrupt. Can I just confirm that Councillor Poland seems to have left the meeting? Can I just check that Councillor Boker's also?
Oh, she's going.
Okay, thank you.
She's going. She's gone. She's gone. Right. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Laura, for watching. Thank you. Over to you, Councillor Seaton.
Thank you very much, Leader. And you'll be grateful that I'm just going to say we take the paper as read. And the Commission have carefully considered and asked the questions on the report and felt that the Cabinet should approve the recommendations as set out. As a note, they found the report very easy to read. There was some questions on the Syston Volunteering Centre, but we were satisfied with the answer. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you
Leader.
very much. Thank you very much, Councillor. Thank you. Can I ask the rest of Cabinet whether you have any questions of clarity that you wish to ask Councillor Seaton on the Scrutiny Commission's report? Okay, I can't see any hands going up. So in which case, thank you very much, Councillor Seaton. So we have Verity Graham, who's our Neighbourhoods and Partnerships Manager, here to assist with the report. As usual, we'll take the report as read. However, I'm going to ask Councillor Harper-Davies, as the relevant lead member, to give us a 30-second summary of the report and where we are before we open for any discussions. So over to you, Councillor Harper-Davies.
Thank you, Leader. So strategic partner grants were last approved by Cabinet in January 2020 for a period of 2 years. At that time, 9 grants were awarded. As the current service level agreements will be coming to an end in March 2022, the strategic partner group have been invited to apply for further funding for a further 2-year period, 22-23 and 23-24. As part of the process, a review of each organisation has taken place to ensure that the organisations applying are still meeting the expectations of the strategic partner grant scheme and they fulfil the aims of the current corporate plan. Existing strategic partners were invited to apply for the funding for the next 2 years, which will end in March 2024. And all of the current partners other than Clockwise Credit Union applied for funding. The report sets out the recommendations to Cabinet obviously this evening in relation to the strategic grant applications for the 2-year period mentioned above. We recognise the huge importance of key strategic partners which they play in supporting our communities and our council to deliver its aims and objectives, and we acknowledge their positive response and the challenges they have faced during the most challenging time, and we also thank them for that. And obviously the officers are here to any technical question, but it's really nice to see that we're able to help these organisations which are at the heart of our communities, and we really thank them for that, and it's really super to be able to continue to support them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Harper-Davies. So, Verity, is there anything that you wish to add or draw out from the report?
I think we've covered everything. It was just to say that we gave all the strategic partners the opportunity to also present to the panel as well, which helped with some questions and answers that aren't always covered in just a written application form. It's the second round that we've done that, and we will incorporate that in future rounds because it's quite an effective way to get detailed information on certain areas.
That's great. Thank you very much. Okay, we've got a question from Councillor Mercer.
It's both a comment and a question, Leader. On CAB, I've referred a number of people to CAB, and on the basis that none of them came back to me to say their problems hadn't been answered, I think that's quite a good vote of confidence in what they're doing. However, Verity, on Equality Action, I used to be a representative on Equality Action in the days when it was called Charnwood Community Relations Council, and we raised the issue with a fellow councillor who happened to be gay. He raised the issue of gay rights, and they said that they were looking at the issue. Now, that was 35 years ago. And in this report, it says that on this particular issue, they're beginning to work towards equality for LGBT communities. So 35 years on, they're still looking at the issue. Is this something that, do you think that they might be able to address in the coming year, or do you think 35 years on, they'll still be looking at it?
Verity.
It was it's something that has been discussed and raised, and obviously when they've presented their business plans, it's to do with their capabilities at the time. So it is something that we would support and hope that they do continue with, and will be part, because it's put in their proposals, it will be something that's monitored and evaluated. So it is part of what the service level agreement will include. So part of the process is if they need to deliver against that business plan. So we will be monitoring that as part of it going forward.
And will you be able to feed back that there was, it was actually raised at Cabinet that
yes,
beginning to work towards really needs to be a little bit more firmer in the future?
I'll take that message back to them, but thank you for that.
Okay, thank you very much. Councillor Ratway, you've got your hand up.
Thank you, Leader. It's the question on Clockwise Credit Union. So I appreciate the fact that they said that they couldn't meet the deadline, and that's why they hadn't put an application in this time. Would we give them the opportunity? I mean, I understand that this is a 2-year package that we're offering to the strategic partners, but on this occasion, would we give them the opportunity to apply for the second year rather than a 2-year package so that they don't completely miss out?
It's not something that we offer to them based on some of the decision making and the reasons behind it. I mean, obviously we've alluded to the changes within the Cabinet report, but just to reassure you that they have got the common bond to deliver the credit union in Charnwood, and we're quite comfortable that they would continue to deliver. They were brought into the strategic partners following several years of funding them outside of it. So previously that we probably would have just said, okay, take a bit of a time out and we can fund, but they have signed up and have been transferred into this process. It's not something we've had before where somebody's sort of not met the deadlines and not communicated with us, unfortunately. So I would suggest that that's something that could be discussed by Cabinet if you felt that that's something you wanted to do moving into year 2. But as it stands at the moment, they have committed to delivering in Charnwood, and the changes to the organisation I hope will build on what they've already done. So I've got no concerns that they won't have a presence in Charnwood. But obviously going forward, you know, it depends on their funding and organisational structure. So it's probably the panel didn't consider it, but if it's something you want to address, then we can look at talking about that for year 2.
Thank you. I mean, you confirmed there that you think that they can still deliver on what they've said that they can. So I think we're probably okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Councillor Smitherich, you got your hand up.
Yeah, thank you. Just back to equality action and picking up Councillor Mercer's comments. I am aware that our officers are having some updated training, and we're also putting it on for, well, we've got a briefing going through at the moment for councillors. I'm wondering if it would be appropriate that the councillors that are allocated to sit on the Equality Action Board might also, we ensure that they undergo the training, so to ask the appropriate questions, and to also make the point perhaps for our head of scrutiny that she might like to look at the list of people we give grants to, because periodically we have looked at various organisations that we do give money towards, just to see how they're doing, what they're doing with it, what would be better, what's hampered them. So not a third degree, but you know, to give accountability. Just some suggestions, Leader.
Okay, thank you very much. Certainly Councillor Seaton's listening, so nodding ahead. So something to certainly think about, I think. So some good points. Right, I can't see any other hands up. So what I'm going to do now is go back to Councillor Harper-Davis and ask you to make the proposal.
Thank you, Leader. So I put forward to Cabinet the recommendations on page 12 of our report, and the reasons noted on page 13.
Okay, and these are going to be recommended to me to make on behalf, as a decision to make on behalf of Cabinet. So can I ask Councillor Ratray as a seconder, I think?
Yes, that's fine. I'm very happy to second that item.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to go through all of you. If you could verbally confirm that you're for the proposal. And as I said, at the end, I will confirm the outcome. So we'll start off with I'm for the proposal. So Councillor Barclay.
For the proposal, Leader.
Councillor Bailey.
For the proposal, Leader.
Thank you. Councillor Boker.
Oh, she's not able to stay. She's out of the meeting.
Of course. Well done. Councillor Harper-Davis.
For the proposal, Leader.
Councillor Mercer.
Is for the proposal, Leader.
Thank you very much. I'm not going to be tricked by Councillor Poland either. So in which case I'm going to go to Councillor Ratway.
Yes, for the proposal, Leader.
And then Councillor Rawlings.
For the proposal, Leader.
And then finally Councillor Spinovich.
Yes, for the proposal, Leader.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so that's 8 out of 10 in favour. So I confirm that I will make the decision in favour on behalf of Cabinet. So thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much, Verity, for your support. You're free to go and enjoy the rest of your evening now, and we'll carry on with the meeting. Thank you very much. So we're on to item 7 now, which is the details of the exempt information. We're going to propose to exclude members of the public from the meeting during the consideration of the following item on the grounds that it will involve the likely disclosure of exempt information defined in paragraph 3 and 5 of Part 1 of Schedule 12A to the Local Government Act 1972. And it is considered that the public interest in maintaining the exemption outweighs the public interest in disclosing the information. So can I ask Councillor Barclay whether you would second that proposal?
Happy to second that, Leader.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to ask each of you to confirm whether you are for the proposal. I am for the proposal. Councillor Barclay?
For the proposal.
Councillor Bailey?
For, Leader.
Councillor Boker?
For, Leader.
Councillor Harper-Davis?
For, Leader.
Councillor Mercer?
For, Leader.
Councillor Poland?
For, Leader.
Councillor Ratway?
For, Leader.
Councillor Rawlings?
For, Leader.
Councillor Smitherich?
Yes, for, Leader.
Okay, so I can confirm that Cabinet is in favour of the exempt information item.